Hey guys, it's Carol and thank you for stopping by for my early April 2025 stitching update. I last sat in this chair about 10 days ago and I've gotten so much done since I last talked to you. I have been in just the most crafty mood in general. I've knit on at least 2 of my projects. All this cross stitching I'm about to share with you. I have 7 whips today. And I started working on a dress for springtime? I don't know. I haven't actually cut out my fabric yet. I'm still in the fitting stage, but I've started working on garment sewing again. Haven't done that in like a couple of years now. So this is pretty exciting for me. I'm like, wow, look at this. I don't know if it's just I've been structuring my life a little better to like be able to focus on this. I think so. It's working out great. Like, I'm happy, but with that, I figure I'm just gonna like hop right into these whips and share what my cross stitching has been. So first up is gonna be Modern Folk Embroidery's No Time Like the Present. This is last year's stitch along and I had gotten behind. I mean, I'm still behind. I said that last video. I think I said that the video before. Whatever. I am feeling so good about where this project is. So here's where it was last time. And this is where I am. We're less than a third of the way through April. And this, okay, so this is the bottom of the April section over here. I am filling this in my goal is basically I was doing this until I got sick of working in the 844, just because these rows had gotten kind of long. I mean, particularly up here, very long. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna switch, do a little something. So started putting in the Roman numerals for I guess it's like a clock face, whatever, Roman numerals. So started working on that, and then I have been putting 30 minutes a day on this, including weekends. So at the beginning of the year, when I had talked about how I was going to do this, I had said, hey, this is about 110 stitches across. So it's like, if I do basically a chunk at a time on all the work days, the 30 minutes when my husband drives into work is when I work on this, that I would be able to stay on pace. And then said, oh yeah, and my husband's schedule has gotten kind of wacky, so I hadn't been getting like the prompt. Okay, that's fine. So I had basically identified, in order to work on this, I just straight up need to set a timer, 30 minutes, find it, sit down and work on it. And it has been working fantastically. So, I mean, this is literally the midpoint. There's some stuff here, obviously not a lot going on here, but this has been filling in nicely. I'm already 100 stitches down from the beginning of the row, or the beginning of the month. And I mean, I'm gonna have to come back. There is some March up here. Okay, fine. But I was also able to go back in and with the 645 that I was using here, went in and started filling back in some of the February that I was behind on, just because I didn't have a very long length of floss to work in. So I was like, well, you know what? Why don't I just fill in some of these gaps and we'll see how it's going. Like, I'm not prioritizing it, but because I'm not prioritizing it, it just has it has felt more like I am finding that flow. So I said I have a timer. So 30 minutes, what it ends up really being is 3 lengths of floss. That will be my 30 minutes. If I'm still feeling it, I'll continue to do more. I have never done more than 5 lengths on any given day. And I am just, like I said, given where I had ended up being so behind, and like middle of March, it was pretty obvious. I guess the end of February is pretty obvious I was really behind, but we'll just go ahead and my lie is going to be, it was the middle of March is when I started going, oh, really got to figure this out. Well, in this case, if I work on it the 30 minutes every single day, it's been basically allowing me to come back up and get some of the stuff that I hadn't done. So I am really pleased with this. And by my tracking, I'm at 25% done. Now, I guess by the end of March, I was supposed to be at 30% done and, another 10% here, but whatever. I am just thrilled with how this is going. I'm about ready to bring this down. I'm probably going to do a little more fill-in. I don't know. It's just really working. Like I said, and the nice part is the mornings when I'm just like, I don't want to work on this. I want to work on something else. When I tell myself, it's 3 lengths of floss, like, I can do that. And it's when I'm waking up anyway, so. But yeah, and I do try to work on this one early in the day. Because if the couple times that I've done okay, well, I'll work on it when I have more time in the afternoon, I struggle more to sit down and work on it. Because again, the point of this one is not to, when I do it then, is I like sit down and be like, oh, I should finish this entire chunk. No, this entire chunk is still this is hours of work. I'm not going to do it in the afternoon. And that's the mindset I get in the afternoon. In the morning, I don't know if it's in the morning. I'm like more like, hey, I'll do my 3 and it's good. And I'll worry about it tomorrow. I have plenty of time today. I don't know. It's interesting how your own mindset changes, even in like the course of the day and what you want to focus on. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm just really happy with this. I never remember to share all like the details, but this one I've been better about. This is a 36 count creme brulee R&R reproductions, doing it 1 strand over 2, DMC 844 and 645. And like I said, it's gorgeous. I will say this is less colorful than my other favorite modern folk embroidery piece, which is the Fruit of Plenty, where I'm using dark turquoise colors. But I love the effect I'm getting here. So that part is really nice. And as I have been stitching up here, I was like, oh yeah, this part was a slog. So the fact that I only had like basically half a length, and all my lengths, the way I do my floss, in this case, they're on floss drops. I literally fold everything over, I guess it's 4 times. Anyway, so all the lengths are, the loops are 1 meter long, and then I thread it through, snip it, so they're all 1/2 meter. Not that I actually think in metrics, so I actually tell myself they're 18 inches long. They're a little longer than 18 inches, but not by a lot. So, like I said, when I have, like, that's when I say my length. That is roughly what I do for, like, all of my work. With my last video, I shared my 1 new start. No, I still have not pulled out lemons yet. That's okay. It wasn't calling to me this week. But I did feel like pulling out CW Designs Queen Street Alley for just a little more fill-in. It didn't feel like a good start. Here's where it was last time. This is where I am now. I just today serged the fabric edges, so they will be good. This is an 18 count Zweigart Ada. I did a lot of work on Ada this week, so I got very familiar with the feel of different Ada. This one's pretty nice, and I had picked up the DMC 762 that is used for the sky. I was telling my sister about this, and we agreed that 762 is like this weird chameleon color. Most of the time when I think of it, it's like a light pearl gray, is I believe what they write DMC has it labeled as. And it is, like, you see it all the time used next to white. It's like a gray color. But there's times when it reads more blue. It's one of those, it's just a really, really useful color. So the entire sky is done in 762. And I was like, well, that doesn't feel very blue. And then I had to remind myself that I know that if you're painting a room, do not pick, like, and say you love the color blue and you want to paint your room blue. If you pick the blue off of a paint chip, you'll end up with like a color here, and it will be that bright on your walls. And that's usually too much for what most people are looking for on a wall. I'm not saying that they're looking for gray walls, but all the colors that are in the gray cards, when you put them on the wall, you don't see the gray, you see the underlying color really comes through. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go ahead, drop me a comment. I love talking about paint colors. Like, I love color. I mean, I guess this is the thing. Like, why do I love cross stitching? I get to play with colors. Sometimes my color choices might not be all that exciting. I mean, I'm going to use no time like the present. Like, they're not bright colors. I deliberately picked something to, like, evoke a feel for me. Anyway, so what I was saying is the fact that, like I said, at first when I started, I was like, oh, this is really great, and it's weird looking. And then as I filled in more of these greens, the 762 started looking, it will never be a bright sky, but let's be honest, if you've ever walked around in anywhere in the South in the middle of summer, the skies are not particular, they're blue, I mean, but they're not that vibrant blue. There's too much humidity. It does wash out. I did spend a year down in Pensacola, afternoon thunderstorms my dog was afraid of and all, and it was very much like we go to the beach, the water is beautifully blue. Sky, Like, I have seen much more vibrant blues elsewhere. Really? So you gotta go to a place with, like, no humidity. Some of the bluest, like, skies I've ever seen on the Dakotas. I mean, ridiculously blue. No other terrain. I mean, when you're driving across a state that's literally the road is like straight, different story. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm like rambling here. and this is supposed to be talking about Queen's Alley, but I guess what it's saying is that it ends up working out great. So most of this leaves are filled in here, started kind of creating, so there's a building here. This is pretty much marching along its roof line. Like, and I think I'm basically going to go to the top of the pattern as I progress this. I'm probably going to put this aside for like a month or so just because I have other things I want to focus on, but I at least feel like, hey, there's probably about 200 stitches in here. It's an actual start. I have touched, I think it's already like 6 or 7 different colors on here. And I love it. I just think it's so much fun. And I don't know, it's really good size. I mean, this is the whole thing, 180 by 180. So a very doable, like for a full coverage. And I guess sometimes it is really good having those full coverage. Like that's why I like doing like the full coverage on Aida, because I don't care what the fabric behind it looks like. But it just really allows you to like not feel like you're gonna get overwhelmed by it. So I don't know, I'm becoming a fan of some of these, like they're full, but they're smaller, so they're doable. So in terms of projects that have started, but again, don't have a lot on them, and I'm just kind of feeling like the starting just to start is not in the spirit of why I want to start these projects. So I don't want to have just a really tiny, like 200, like say 200, 100 stitch start. I want to do a little more than that. So that inspired me to pull out my Merejka kit, Visit Venice. And here's where I was last time. And this is my, I want to say it's a substantial progress. It kind of isn't, but there's more colors that have come in. There's this roof line happening. There's like a really super shaded bell tower that's like, I don't even know if you can see it. It's obvious in person, even though it's almost close to the same color as this. It's a little dark on the camera, like when I'm looking over. Okay, I was to see that, but it's very close, but the texture is fantastic. So the woman's head is going to be somewhere here. I haven't decided where I'm going next. I just was like, okay, I wanted to pull this out. It's really like delightful. This is also a Zweigart Aida. Let me see the orange selvage over here, and it's also marked on the kit. I really like it. The Zweigart Aida softens up really like pretty quickly. So, I mean, and I have not done a substantial amount of stitching on Aida, and like really honestly until the last like couple of years, and mostly because I've been like, oh, I'm gonna work on kits, and the kits generally have Aida. The last time I personally bought Aida, like, and not just raided my mom's stash, was probably college. Yeah, it's been like 20 years. I did nothing but basically stitch on linen. You'll notice I don't even use a lot of even weaves. Like linen is my jam, but I am really starting to just appreciate like Aida and what it provides. I think I've said that before, but anyway, like, so it means that Nices have been experiencing different Aidas, and I didn't realize, like, because my experience with Aida when I was a kid was it was very, very stiff. So to have, like I said, these, like, I mean, it doesn't flop as much as linen does. It does kind of like behave itself, but that they all have their own different feel. And sometimes I like when it's soft, and sometimes I like when they're stiff. So anyway, so another building here. There's also a bridge that'll be coming across here. Again, this is not one that I wanted to put, like, prioritize, but it was nice to pull out and spend an hour or so just, like, messing with the different colors. And I guess a lot of the background is going to be a lot of these very muted tones, and I'm probably going to work in that before I come back and do the people. The people will really stick out because they're much warmer tones, and she's like a blonde, so the yellows are going to pop against this blue. But like I said, Visit Venice. So last week I ended up having to go to the allergist, and they had me there half an hour early, except for I'd already pre-filled out like all of the paperwork. So I took with me, and for a small, easy to travel with piece, Heartstring Sampleries, Be Thou My Vision. Here's where I was last time. I will tell you, I actually didn't get as much done sitting in that half hour at the allergist because they took me back early, which never happens at a doctor, but then they made up for it by basically proving that I'm allergic to almost everything they tested me for. It was absolutely awful, and I'm gonna have to start allergy shots. It's a thing. Hopefully it'll help. It's a thing. Hopefully it'll help, but in the meantime, I got like this stem done. It started working. So this entire row or sleeping. And it's funny because I always end up stitching these like from here because all of my reference points have been off these flowers. So I start and I go this way. Finally had a point. So most of the rows are done. I'm about 65%. I'd actually calculated. I've calculated some of the other projects, how far I am, but this one I was like, oh, I'm at almost 2/3, and the text goes pretty fast. I just realized I just haven't pulled this one out as much as I should. Like, I'm pretty sure that I can get this done like really quickly. If I made it literally even a priority in the course of a week, I could have this done. And I don't know what it says about me that I haven't prioritized it. I think I have this vision when they're small projects, I'm supposed to use them in small blocks of time, like sitting out in public. Well, like I said, lucky me, allergy shots, which means after you get them, you have to sit there for 30 minutes. So I'm going to need something to keep me occupied that's not my phone. So I guess I'll be doing more travel stitching. Yay, lucky me. But yeah, this one, I mean, I'm pleased with it. This is a 40 count Stars Hollow Blend, R&R Reproductions. And I am doing this 1/2 with the DMC substitutions that were in the pattern. I just, Fancy Floss seemed like overkill for this one, and it's only like 5 colors. So, and none of them were 5 colors I had around otherwise. Like if there were ones that I already had, it might have said sure, but they weren't. So, like I said, DMC instead, but it's coming along. This one should hopefully be done shortly too. Because I still haven't finished anything in 2025. This one I think is slightly out of order, but only because I don't generally share my projects in the order I stitched in them, because I never really remember. But it was a kit week for me. So I had pulled out Bucilla's Summer Symphony a couple weeks ago and had it sitting by my chair and just hadn't pulled it out. So I was like, it was a day when I was totally burnt on colors from No Time Like the Present, so I pulled this one out. Here's what it was last time. I didn't do a lot, and that's fine. What I am happy with is that this window is starting to look like a window. I thought about working up here on the roof, and I was like, I wasn't feeling it. I wanted to work, and I wanted to say that I was like, oh, maybe I should do the colors around here. There is a fair amount of the white from the house, and so I was like, you know what, I'm going to just start working around the window, because then I would be able to come over in here, and then I just got sidetracked by having fun with the window. So this is, and I did fill in like one little spot here, there's like more, and some of the stuff here, I mean, it'll come along, but I really like the look of this, and you can't see it because the, what is it? Muntin, whatever the term is for what the divided windows. So divided light window here, you have this shade behind it, and it's more obvious that like, oh, okay, that there is, like I said, a shadow behind it. It's fun. I just kind of like that it looks, the dimensionality comes through of, you know, this piece. So I don't, like I said, I don't have a lot to say about this one. I pulled it out more because I just needed some colors. Pulling out the blue was great. Got to do some of the greens, like, I don't know. It's not a lot of time, but it made me happy, so I guess that's like the best thing to say about it, right? I have worked on this one kind of intermittently, both back at the beginning of the week and yesterday, but Mirabilia Designs, Winter Queen. Here's where she was last time. Last time you saw her, I said I really wanted to get some of the beading done. I was feeling inspired to do beading. So you'll see that I, in fact, did do some of the beading here. Yes, the beading needle is still hanging out because I hit that point where I'm like, beading is not fun. Like, I love the effect, and I don't know if it's also, like, some of these beads, like, the white one looks okay, but it doesn't really seem to bring much to the party. The silver one, I really like the silver ones. I like the more metallic blue. But for the amount of time that you're sitting there, like, messing with the beads, I sometimes just get frustrated. It probably doesn't help. My beading needle has, like, the very barest burr on the end. I have tried to see if I can make it, like, go, like, flat. It's not, I'm not snagging the fabric, but it drives me crazy. Like, saying that, I probably should just pull this out here, throw it away. Like, I know that, and the fact that I'm not going to do it is because I'm kind of a fool and will keep like going on with tools that don't work right. I have plenty of beading needles. Like I don't need this particular one, but I think it's one of the tips of these. So these are the Bohin. I think I'm saying that right. The beading needles, the tips are very, like the very tip of it is fine, and it's very easy to knock it to the metal just a little bit out of whack. I want to say I have some like floating around here where I've misplaced them, some like DMC brand needles that don't have that problem, but I don't like them because the entire needle is a little longer and more flexible, and so they're harder to work with. This is a very solid needle. It's easier for me to stitch with, but again, just the thing like where I can, oh, that burr, driving me nuts. Anyway, so like I said, got this. I'm like, okay, it's going along. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pull out some DMC. So a little more down here, and then started filling in. This skirt edge is, this is the edge of the skirt. There's more, I think cloak starts reappearing. I don't know. This is not the entire edge, but I was like, this is looking nice. Filled in some more of the whisper as I'm going along. The only thing I'm really hoping, so the whisper over time seems to discolor. You can see it like up here. It reads as like almost dingy. It's not, I mean, it's yellowed. It didn't start off that way. These all started off as bright white. And I don't know how it's going to look once I bathe everything. I'm hoping it looks better. I mean, I love the texture. Still don't love stitching with it, but I've made my peace with it. But now I'm like, can you like not change colors? Like the DMC is pretty stable, but you guys are just like not. I don't know. That's a mystery to me. But yeah, this one I think I'm gonna lean towards, again, making this maybe not like, it's not like a daily 30, but I really need to be like sitting and putting some focus time on it every week, and I haven't really fit that in my schedule, and I need to. I have 1,000 things that need to be done, but this is not actually one of those needs. This is I want it to be done, but like I said, it's just part about the making sure, because the other problem, I'd said, hey, I'm like excited doing all these crafty things. The problem is when I get excited and I'm like, oh, I want to do all the things, I can find it a little hard to stay on track. Like, oh, shiny thing, put this down and pick up like the knitting and leave all the beads out. Like, I promise my ADHD is taken care of, but I can tell the days when I just am a little extra, and I have had that problem. And so, like I said, I need to work on I want to focus. If I can focus, then I can get this finished, and I can focus on new, fun, shiny things. Problem is, this is no longer the new, fun, shiny project. This has been kind of a focus piece for like a year now, so I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm over it. I love how it looks. I love this project. She is beautiful. I'm just ready to be done. And my last project was also kind of one that I need to focus on because I don't want to carry this into next year. This is Dimensions Gold Collection, Holy Night Stocking. Here's what it was last time. And this is a little bit of progress put on it. So it was filling in mostly, because the only thing I did was 3 strands. I'll say 3 strands. It was 3 lengths of 4 strands of this navy floss. I'm pretty happy with how much I was able to get done. Like, there's really not a lot more for me to do with the navy here, so I'm gonna have to switch colors that I'm using as like my anchor color, if you will. Like, when I'm working on a project like this, I'll pick one like, okay, this is the one I'm gonna fill in, and then it's usually the most in that particular area, and then from there it's easy to just kind of build around it. So for a while it had been this navy, but now I think it's going to be this lighter, I think it's royal blue is what it's labeled on the chart. Whatever, like the dimensions numbers they're 5 digits and I don't remember any of them. I just kind of know what they look like, but I'm pleased because I'm ready to change there to say the next lighter blue is supposed to go in here, and it starts filling in pretty strongly there. So I didn't do a lot here. Like, again, this was a little bit last night, really, as I was going to bed, but I think that it was good for me to keep this readily accessible because, again, this allows it to get done. I have stated that this is a goal piece I want to get done this year. It's not going to happen if I just leave it in its bag, not where I'm stitching. So a little bit goes kind of, I mean, a decent chunk of the way, so you'll see this next week. I don't know if it gets boring, like, seeing the focus pieces like this. I don't know, I was kind of thinking about that. I don't know if it's good seeing kind of the same, in this case, it's going to be 3 focus pieces, when I have kind of figured out that I will really never have more than like 7 whips in a video, because 7 is the most I'm going to work on in really any allotted time. And if I work on 7, it does a better job of telling me, like, okay, it's time to sit and now film. So weeks when I don't get anything done, that's how you end up with like a 3-week gap, and it's still only like 5 or 6 projects worked on. Or you can have a week where I get a lot, like I'm really sitting down and stitching, and I now touch 7, and it's easy for me to say, okay, I need to sit down and talk about these. So right now, I mean, don't time like the present, you're going to see it until it's done. I really want to get Winter Queen done. She's about 70%, like, it wouldn't take long. It's a lot of beading, though. Not as much beading as, like, the Stargazer, but it's the sitting down and doing the beading, because it's chunks, and that is less fun than when you're, like, stitching out a line of beading. That's just me. And honestly, holy nut stocking, because I want to get it done. I want to get this one done. I am not starting my husband's stocking until I have this one complete. And if I want to get his done, then I need to get this one done in some sort of timely fashion, because his is also a Dimension Schooled collection stocking. And it's a little less, this one is like completely full coverage. His is mostly full coverage. Yeah, so I guess that's the other part, is being, 25% of the way through the year and going, am I even on track to finish my goals? Will it matter if I am or not? Probably not. In the end, it's just cross-stitching. Part of it is that the goals are because it's things I want to do. So the goals are less about the getting there, like, if I get there, but my life is in, shambles around me, then the goal failed. If it's I get 80% of the way there and I have done all the other things that I'm trying to do, like, I have a kid graduating high school this year. Kind of need to get her, like, all the stuff and send her off to college. Can't even. But the point, like, if I, like, get most of the goals and like I said, I'm working the rest of my life, then I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So right now I'm kind of like doing okay, this is the time to look and not panic. Am I going to be able to do the things that I think I can accomplish in the remaining 9 months? And the answer is, maybe not. I've already kind of looked at one project and said, I would love to finish you, and it's not happening this year. And that's okay, because my initial, like, hey, things I want to get done was like 11 projects. That doesn't mean 1 a month. It just means that those are the ones I need to be working on the most. And one of those projects I basically haven't pulled out since my whip parade. So that means it's not going to get done this year, because it's push comes to shove when I'm actually having to work on things. It's not a high priority. And that's okay. And again, I'm also feeling called to, like, work on other stuff. Like, told you, I'm really excited about garment sewing again. It's great, but that eats into my cross-stitching time. I mean, not terribly, but it does a little bit. I love all my viewers. I love everything that you guys stop and drop in the comments section. Like, you guys are thoughtful and you're amazing. And actually, to go along with this, I have 2 shout outs. I don't normally do shout outs, but this one is, I have to reciprocate back. So Tyler from Will It Stitch, he has been just amazing. He's a new Flosstuber. Please go check out his videos. I have his link down below. And I love his enthusiasm. Like, absolutely wonderful. Because sometimes I wish that I could be that enthusiastic about literally everything cross-stitch. And I don't know. When I watch his videos, he makes me smile. So that's great. Also, Jen, the Backcountry Stitcher, if you have not seen her videos, like, a lot of what she stitches on, it's pretty similar to what I do. But moreover, for whatever reason, the YouTube algorithm has not been kind to her. So please go check her out. She dropped a video yesterday, and I love what she's working on. She has this most amazing long dog sampler. It's Active God, and I need it now. I mean, I don't need anything, but I want it. She's doing it in, I think it was DMC 154. Beautiful, beautiful color. And it's funny because it's not one that would necessarily have like leapt out to me. I don't normally pick like purples, but that is what I love about the entire Flosstube community, being able to see what people pick and then go, not just the inspiration, but when they do something that you wouldn't have necessarily picked, and then you go, oh, I really like that. That is why I think it is so great what we have available to us today, that like when I was super into like cross stitching, like went into this like binge in like college, and yeah, I mean there was internet stuff, but it was really like, it was hard to be inspired in the same way that I find the video format does. So please go check out both of them. They're fantastic. And in the meantime, I hope that you're able to get all of the stuff that you enjoy in crafting done. I'm hoping that I will, and I will see you again next week. Okay. Take care. Bye.